question.
Are there any questions, or are we all waiting for uh, for him to come back, for Kevin to return?
Yeah,
Mark, do you have something for us?
yeah, I have a question. On both our computers and our one on my wife's iPhone, recently we've been trying to go into websites and we get a thing that says Safari cannot open the page because the server cannot be found. We go in and we've done everything Apple's asked us to do, and it still pops up occasionally. We go into Chrome, we can get into the website. Does anybody have any suggestions on what that is or?
Yeah, my guess is it's a website that is made for Chrome. I've run into a few of those where things don't work unless you're using Chrome.
Mhm.
When it says I can't find the website, that might be something different,
Yeah,
especially if you can use a different browser and get there. Now, you said this is on your phone?
yeah, my wife said it happened on her phone, but I haven't actually had it, but on my phone. But the note comes up, say I go into BMW, we'll say, and it'll come back and say Safari cannot open the page because the server can't be found. They're not weird websites, they're usually things that the average person would go into. And then we said, what the heck is going on? So we'll go into Chrome and we'll get right into where we tried to go to get into.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Are
seeing the
you,
same
are you,
problem, and I can go into Firefox, and it will open in Firefox.
Right, right.
And that could just be DNS settings in your network settings. Easiest way around that is what I do is change your DNS either to Google or to Quad 9. I prefer Quad 9 over Google. Um, I have my own DNS that I use, and when I can't get to a website, I set two locations up on the computer. So I just go into the Apple menu, two locations, and I just change it over to Quad 9, and boom, I could load the website.
Yeah, well, I'm using Quad 9, and I'm still getting the problem.
Are you?
It seems,
They may have some malicious code in there that Quad 9's blocking then.
Hmm.
are you going there from a link, or are you clicking on a link to go there, or are you typing it in?
Both. Both.
Okay.
Yeah, my wife had a link today from somebody oversees a cookie thing or something, and she went on the link and it showed up. Safari cannot open the page. Sometimes we'll go into something like I said, a website that should be readily available. So, for instance, BMW, and sometimes it'll come up and it'll say not available. And other times it won't have any problems, but it seems like it comes in waves. And it doesn't. There's no rhyme or reason how it's coming up.
And does this happen your, does this happen on your Mac as well, or just on the
Yeah,
phone?
on our Macs. We both have Macs.
Okay.
So if it's happening on Macs, you could always clear your DNS cache. Um, Trying to think the easiest way to do that is there's a company called Coingo Software, Koingo, and they make a freeware piece of software called Mac Magic, and it's a menu bar item. And in Mac Magic, let me click on it. For under the network setting, it says reset DNS cache, and sometimes that's all you'll need because if a DNS got cached and it's not right, then your web browser won't go to it.
So Coingo Soft, Mac Magic, and then
Mac Magic. Oh, actually, now they're saying purchase it. So it used to be free. Now they want to pay for it. Um, but I've had it on my system for months and I've never needed a license for it.
hmm,
Isn't there a command line thing like flush DNS?
There is, but every operating system has its own unique code. So you'll have one for Sequoia and Sonoma. You'll have one for Ventura and older OSs.
Okay, I'll look into that.
But it's not in the Safari settings.
It might be in the developer settings. Let me take a look. Yep, in the developers, you'd have to open the developer menu and you could empty caches, but that's only Safari caches. I don't know if it's system-wide DNS caches.
Yeah, probably not. You could probably use Onyx.
Let me see. Nope, Onyx doesn't have it. Let me see if Tinker Tool has it.
Another thing may be is you look at your Safari privileges for that particular website, depending on what you have set in there for privacy. Uh, I've run into that with a few websites that I don't generally share my location, and I don't generally allow several things that are on that privacy setting. That might be something to also look at.
Well, I found an article here. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
It uses terminal.
And for what operating system is that for, Roger?
It details. It's for, let's see here. It says on all models, and then below that it says um, on older models such as Catalina, Mojave, High Sierra, Sierra, and El Capitan. So it has
Okay.
instructions for both older and newer.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, I got a question for everybody here. When you came in and you launched Zoom today, did you get a warning saying that you had to give it permissions again?
No.
No.
Okay, well, one of the things that Apple does is on some apps, especially if you share your screen, Apple wants you to give permissions to the apps every 30 days. And there's an app called Amnesia that you can get that extends that out 100 years. So you don't have to give it every 30 days. Like I use TeamViewer, and when I connect to somebody, unless we've set up Amnesia, as soon as they go to share their screen, they get a warning, so they have to give system permissions before anything works.
New to me.
Kevin, I do have a question.
Yes.
I
Go ahead.
I have an iPhone 14 Pro, and what happens, I don't know, it won't turn, if I stroke up, it won't turn on or get me active. It's like I have to hit the right push button on the right side in order to get it to kind of what I call turn on.
Usually when you hit the right button, do you have Face ID set up on it?
Yes. I want
I
it to turn on, though. I want it to turn on when I raise my finger from the bottom to the top. I thought it
and,
used
and,
to do
and
that.
it'll do that only if it sees your face.
Oh, oh, you're right. This is another thing I learned here. Chris, you were right. You told me this place has got good information.
We
So thanks,
try.
Kevin. Thank you.
There you go.
Isn't
Well,
it
I want
interesting
to
that all
welcome.
the time you just do stuff and it doesn't work and it doesn't work and you don't know how.
Yeah.
You
And
don't
you
know
don't think
why.
about
You don't know
and you don't
why.
think about the simple things.
Yeah. I do like Face ID. I wish it would be on everything.
I like it.
I hope it's on the next iMac.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice. But Touch
I
ID on the computers is nice on the keyboards as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have
I
a
have an
question.
external keyboard from Apple with Touch ID, and I really like it.
Mm.
Me too.
And I would like to welcome back to the fold a former member who's now back with us once again, Rhea.
Yeah.
Welcome home.
Hi,
We're
thanks for the
happy to have
warm
you back.
welcome.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you people too. I missed you people a lot.
And we would like you to put your full name instead of just Rhea, if you know how to do that. I already know
Um,
who you are, so on my list, I
oh,
already have Rhea Fan.
oh, okay. Could I do that next time? I'm not sure how to do it here.
Are you on a Mac or on a iPad?
Neither. I'm on an Android phone.
Well,
My.
You can do it next time. I got your last name. I know what it is.
Thank you. Yeah, next time I'll give my full name. Sorry about that. I didn't know what the convention was.
Mac only.
Conventions?
Go
I have a question.
ahead.
I've got a 16-inch iPad Pro with an M1 chip. I'm using it with a 27-inch screen monitor and an external keyboard. And I have set up Touch ID. Now, I'm not talking about on the keyboard on the laptop. I don't use it very often as a laptop. I just use it usually just in the office. But I've tried setting up Touch ID on this keyboard, and it fails. I've set it up multiple times. Well, multiple. Let's say at least a dozen times, and it just won't take. I can't figure out what to do or
So,
what's going wrong.
so it's actually quite simple. All you have to do is you set up Touch ID on your laptop, and then when you pair your keyboard to your Mac, Touch ID then will work on your keyboard.
Oh, so I've been doing it wrong.
You're doing it backwards, right?
Okay.
So like when I got my keyboard, I plugged it in, I pressed the thing, Touch ID worked. I'm saying, wait a second, I thought I was supposed to do something, and it just works.
I'll be darned. Thank you very much.
Okay. It says that somebody, it says we have 21 participants, and I've only got 20 names on my list. Who just entered except for Steve? I see Steve
Did you
here
have,
already.
did you get Lori?
Yeah, I just entered.
Oh, hi, Lori. Hi, Lori. Okay. We know you.
Yeah, I'm fashionably late this evening.
So am I.
Anybody else have any questions?
Well, if I want some kind of assistance with computer work, say in my apartment, how would I arrange it, and who would I arrange it with?
Well, there's several techs in town. I'm one of them. Roger's one of them.
Melissa.
Melissa's one. You could contact us. It really depends on what your needs are and how comfortable you are with each of the people.
Yeah.
Everybody offers their different perspective.
And kind of your location plays into it too, at least for me out here in the wilds of Vale. Where are you located, Rand, in general terms?
Oracle and Drachman.
Midtown.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're halfway between probably Roger's the closest to you, as I would guess, but I have clients all over town and even some out of state. So
All right.
everybody's different. I do stuff, but I charge a premium because
Okay.
usually my clientele, Roger, I don't know what his rates are. You'd have to talk to him individually. Same with Melissa, but
Okay.
everybody's slightly different.
My situation is I've got two laptops. One of them is very old and has Mavericks on it for an operating system. Anybody remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And the other is a little bit newer, but it's got Catalina. And I don't think the old one could be updated. But the newer one might be updatable. And also I would like to get, if I could, free software like iMovie. I have an old version of iMovie on the old one, and I'm trying to develop a YouTube channel and make videos. And so I've just been using this kind of primitive 2014 version of iMovie because I live on a disability budget and it's free software. So
Yeah, well, iMovie is free now. If you remember when it first came out, they charged $20 for it. No more. Now it's totally free.
From where?
From Apple, from the App Store. You just have to download it.
Well, the thing is, it's not compatible with Catalina. Is there any place where I could get a version that's compatible with Catalina, or alternatively update my newer laptop?
So if you're on Catalina and you go to the App Store and you go to download, go to iMovie in the App Store, it'll tell you what the system requirements are, and it'll say that it requires like Sequoia or newer. When you click download, a pop-up should come up saying, you have an older operating system. Would you like to download an older version that is compatible with your Mac?
No kidding.
Yeah. They don't announce it. They don't tell people they do that, but that's what they do.
Oh, I didn't know. Well, that's the missing link then. And will it also say what size it is, like how many megabytes or
They're
whatever?
usually pretty good for iMovies. Usually, I would say with all the support files, 5 gigs.
Oh, okay. And what was my other question? So is the App Store the same thing as the Google Play Store?
The Google Play Store is Google's place for you to buy software for Android. The App Store is Apple has 2 app stores, one for iOS devices and one for Mac devices. So on your Mac, underneath the Apple menu, just select App Store.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. That may help. And one other question: is there any way to transfer, say, my projects from the old version of iMovie into the new version?
Yes. So all you have to do is get them on the computer or put them on a flash drive, get them
Uh-huh.
onto the new computer, tell iMovie to open them, it'll convert the files for you automatically.
So you'll have like all the transitions and all the fade to blacks and
Right.
titles and everything like that. I would imagine the new version has more features like that.
I haven't used iMovie in probably a dozen years. Roger or Melissa may be more into that than I am.
Yeah, I've been teaching myself to use it slowly but surely and making all kinds of goofy mistakes. But
That's how you learn.
yeah, true. That's true.
It
Learn by
sounds
doing.
like you need a interview with one of us over the phone, Rhea.
Probably. I
And,
didn't want to
you
take too
know,
much time now. I just
because
wanted to catch up a little bit.
we need, more information, just what uh, Apple MacBook you have, how
Uh-huh.
much RAM, how much hard drive space,
Yeah.
and what the operating system is, and so forth.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that could be doable at some point. I'm leaving for California tomorrow, and I'll be back on May 1st. So I don't know. We could maybe do some of this over the phone while I'm away. But anyway, you get the picture.
Either.
Thanks for your time, by the way.
That's what we're here for.
Hi.
I have a question, but it's more a complaint.
Go ahead, Lori.
I have this, you can't see it anyway. It's an iPhone 16 that I got last year. And now I'm hearing, oh, don't buy anything new because of tariffs and all this junk. And I got everything new last year. But I hate this thing. I had an iPhone 12. I have an iPhone 12 for work. And like the other day, I'm, touching it, trying to get it to wake up and everything. And it's doing nothing. Finally, I had to hit buttons so that I was like going to reboot it. And all of a sudden it says, oh, okay, the touch is working. Has anybody seen, and it's got the latest iOS version on it, seen or have problems with just trying to touch it to wake it up? And it's like, I'm not in town that weekend. Don't bother me.
Well, it's like I was telling Gary earlier, when you go to wake up and you swipe up on your phone to wake it up, you have to make sure you're looking at it.
Really?
Because it has sensors in there. And those sensors are sensing your face for Face ID. So
But I
if you
didn't
have
set up Face ID on this one.
but you have a password in it, right?
Yes, I have a passcode, yeah.
Yeah, so it should come up to that passcode when you do that.
Because I'm not looking at it right now. It's flat, it's horizontal, and I'm vertical. And I just touched it and it shows me the screen. But it wouldn't even show me that screen. Sorry, I have a dog that wants to play down here. It didn't even show me that screen. It was just black and it was like not doing anything. And again, it's more like a complaint because I've had other issues with this phone that I absolutely despise. And I wish I had my 12. But anyway, I thought I would moan and cry and get a little sympathy.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that. I mean, my biggest thing has been I've had people complain to me, it's not waking up. It's like, well, are you looking at your phone? Do I need to? It's like, yeah. So.
All right, I'll look at that. I mean, this is the first time. Quiet down. There are 12 million toys in the house. This is the first time it has. Basically, it's a black screen. It says 1824 on the top of it.
Right.
Stop it. Sorry. And I mean, it was the first. Excuse me a second.
Not for Mike so she could swear at the dog.
Lori, just so that you know, at least on my case, I love pups. So
they're annoying. So
yeah,
and unfortunately, this is not working. But anyway, the screen is black, and it would then come to what it normally looks like. And of course, for the background, I can't even show it. But anyway,
as I was explaining to Gary earlier, above your dynamic island or in your dynamic island in that area, there are sensors. And the idea is that if your phone is just sitting on the side, it shouldn't wake up by itself. So it actually wants to sense somebody there when you tap it to wake it up, whether you set Face ID up or not.
Okay, because I can't even remember if it was flat at the time. But I mean, what I did when it didn't do that, I've done 100 times already, and it woke up and everything. It was just an anomaly, and it was like, I hate this thing. I want to go back to my 12. But hey, you know what?
Well, the 12 was a good phone. I upgraded to a 15, and I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, yeah. But thank you for the feedback and for letting me cry on your shoulder
Anytime.
and not
That's
minding
okay.
these dogs. I have two.
What type of pups do you have?
I have two pugs that I got from the Pug Rescue in Mason. Then I have two what I called my terrierists. But my two terriers, one is the one that was barking is 11 pounds, and the other one is 23 pounds. And I did DNA tests for them at Christmas time. Neither one of them has any terrier in them at all. The little one is like 57% Chihuahua and a bunch of other junk. And the bigger blonde one is 55% poodle. And I mean, I was gobsmacked by that. It's like, seriously, I thought I had in fact, the vets over the years said, terrier mix. And it's like, no, there's no terrier in either one of them. But anyway,
Wow.
So thank you.
Anybody else with any questions?
I have a question.
Yes,
So-
hi, Gina.
Hi. So the ongoing saga of my new laptop, I'm going this week. I've had a bunch of like lifus interruptus things that have held me from going to get the new one. But in the meantime, I have a question. I over the years have backed up a lot of my photos onto DVDs, and I was thinking about this the other day. I want to upload them onto a cloud service, probably Dropbox, or Melissa has said she's going to help me decide what cloud-based service I should use. But in the meantime, let's just talk Dropbox. So and because I'm limited on the amount of storage and memory left on my current laptop, I have an external DVD player. Can I put the DVD in that connected to my laptop and just upload it from there directly to Dropbox?
I know you could, it has an upload feature. If you're uploading it to a folder that you're not syncing in Dropbox, then my answer would be yes. Does that make sense?
What do you mean that I'm not syncing?
Okay. Do you have Dropbox installed on your computer now?
I do.
Okay. If you go to the Dropbox menu item,
Okay.
and I'm going to walk you through it. Click on, you see where it has your initials in the top right?
Am I clicking on, you want me to click on the little icon? Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Click on that. And then what you do is you go down to your preferences, and the bottom item on there is sync.
Hold on, one of the reasons why I'm getting a new laptop is because everything takes forever.
Mm-hmm.
It may or may not open. It's always a crapshoot. Yeah, it's not opening.
Okay.
But, okay, I understand the process. I would go there, and when I open that, it should say sync, and I would click on sync.
No, what you want to do is there's an option for what's known as selective sync.
Okay, hold on. It just opened. So if I click on sync, yes, okay, I see that.
So if you select selective sync and you tell it not to have the folder that you are syncing your photos to on your computer, they'll be cloud only.
So am I uploading from the external hard drive to a folder on my computer?
Yeah, in Dropbox, if you go under backups, there's an option to ask for external drives. or devices, you could connect that device and it'll upload the photos from that device. And the folder that it's uploaded to, it'll upload to Dropbox, but at the same time, it keeps a local copy on your computer. What you do is you tell Dropbox that you do not want the local copy.
Okay.
And then everything that goes up to Dropbox that's in that folder will be on the cloud only.
All right. It would probably make more sense when I'm actually doing it, but
Yes.
I do have the gist of what you're saying. Okay. All right. So
What
basically,
a lovely segue into our uh, main presentation about backups and stuff.
yeah.
Speaking of that, I have a little business that would be important, could be important to Roger and myself. I just got a text from Melissa, who was supposed to start off our backup presentation. She says she's having her surge protector, battery backup surge protector, failed right now, and she had to scramble to go get another one and reconnect everything. So she may be delayed, but she will hurry. So it might be that instead of having Melissa lead off, not because she's a woman, but because she's better looking than Roger and I, we may have to give her a little extra time for her to get her ducks in a row. So that's still an hour away. So hopefully she'll be ready to roll when we need her. I also put a URL for the Apple Mac App Store into the chat. But really the way you want to access it is through the App Store app on your Mac, Rhea. But you can see it there by clicking on that link in the chat. Sorry to take up extra time. Are there any questions once again?
Well, if no one else is going to ask, I have a couple questions regarding Time Machine. My understanding, well, I'm using it. I've been using it for a while, but my understanding is that if you do a full backup of your computer or of your Mac, excluding perhaps download folder or whatever, but a full backup, you should be able to restore a brand new Mac from that Time Machine backup. So that would indicate to me that from that point on, you could use that Time Machine, the Time Machine data on that particular hard drive with the new Mac. I guess my question, if I'm correct, I guess my question is, if you needed more space for Time Machine, is it possible to just transfer the information from that hard drive to a larger hard drive and continue to use it, or do you have to start from scratch?
What operating system?
Well, right now I'm on the latest of Sequoia 18.4.
And then
So-
no. You have to start from scratch. On the older operating systems before, I'm trying to think here. I believe Big Sur may have allowed it. But the newer operating systems put it on an APFS encrypted drive, and it's you don't have permissions to even write to the drive to add files to there.
All right, so I'm stuck. If I'm using that as that particular hard drive with Time Machine, and I needed something larger, I can't transfer anything from that to a larger one.
I mean, that's technically the answer I would say is no, but if you are a Linux user, there may be some utilities in Linux that allow you to move it over. I just
Okay.
don't know of any offhand. Yeah.
Okay.
But as far as Apple is concerned, no, you can't move it with the newer operating systems.
That being said, if I understand you correctly, Lee, you have a new computer
Yeah, well,
and
relatively new.
you want to populate that from your old computer and or from your time machine backup.
Well, actually, no, that's what I want to do. What I'm thinking of is that I may have selected the wrong size hard drive to use for Time Machine. And I'm trying to figure out if there's a way that I can just move what I've got to a larger hard drive. And the reason being that that way I can keep my versioning from different from Pages or whatever other app that I am using.
In that case, what I would suggest is get yourself another hard drive and call that the time machine drive and let it do it back up overnight. And you can have more than one time machine drive and take your current time machine drive and set it aside.
But don't disconnect it from Time Machine.
Say again, Kevin?
Do not, in Time Machine preferences, do not remove it from Time Machine. Leave it as a Time Machine drive.
Correct.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that was my meaning. I probably didn't say that, but that was my meaning.
Oh, okay.
And that way, oh, I need something from last October. And you can go boot that one in and go back to October and pick up that version of that file.
Oh, okay. I understand. I understand.
But
That
always
makes
have
sense.
a time machine drive that is larger than the hard drive on your Mac.
Mm.
I would say 150%. What's your recommendation, Kevin?
3 to 4 times the size of your drive.
Yeah, I think
Easily.
Apple recommends at least double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where drive prices or solid state drives have come down, where a year ago solid states were not recommended for Time Machine, now they are.
Right.
So you go small. I have some super large RAID arrays that I use for Time Machine. So, but
Kevin, is there a brand that you recommend
for what?
for the external hard drive for backup?
I like G Technology for drives if you're going spinning drives. I have a couple of G RAIDs. For solid state drives, I like Sandisk.
Okay.
Didn't Sandisk have some issues with Macs?
On one of their 4 terabyte drives, they did, but that was a small issue, and they issued a firmware update when they figured it out that it was an issue. But I use their extremes are nice, and they have some new ones that are fast. Or I use their Pro G40s, which are about 3,000 megabits per second. So I could do a backup in like 10 minutes on a terabyte drive, which is really nice.
Well, from the standpoint of portability, I mean, that may be the case with an iMac, but with a laptop, for the sake of portability, I've been using a Crucial, mainly because, well, it's a great drive, but also the size. This
Yeah.
is it. You can tell from the size of my hand, the size of the drive. And I don't know what this one in particular is. Oh, this one's 4 terabytes.
Yeah.
I've got a 1 terabyte drive in my Mac, in my MacBook, and I'm using a 2 terabyte drive at the moment. And I was thinking that I should have used the 4 to begin with.
As far as spinning drives go, Backblaze likes Toshiba and Hitachi.
Right, but that's it only if you're building your own cabinet with drives in it. When you buy external drives, you're kind of at the mercy of what they're putting in there.
Well, you can buy Toshiba external drives.
Can you?
Yep. They've got 1, 2, and 4 terabyte.
Yeah, the reason I like the G RAID is they use enterprise class drives in them, which are nice because when they're encrypted, they don't slow down. So
Boy, all these good questions on the topic of the month.
Bob, you
yeah,
said Bob, you said you'd put something in the chat, but there's nothing there.
I put a link in the chat
Oh, I can't see it.
to the URL for the Mac App Store
I can't see
at
anything.
620.
yeah, I see it.
Maybe I should log out and log back in.
Or just close the chat window and then reopen the chat window.
I see it.
Yeah, I see it too.
No, nothing.
Are you using the Zoom app, or are you just using a link in your browser?
No, I'm using the Zoom app. Not the latest, I guess. It said update when I launched it.
Well, you could try logging out and logging back in. We'll still be here,
The latest,
most likely.
the latest
Quick,
Zoom
everybody
application
hide.
is the latest Zoom application is 6.4.3 Zoom Workspace.
Space or place?
Peace.
Space, the final frontier.
Mine says workplace.
Mine says workplace also.
Yeah, workplace. That's what mine says.
That's right. You're right.
Place.
Workspace is a much better name, I think. But I don't get to make that call. Looks like Tommy logged out. Hopefully, when he comes back, things will be okay.
Everybody put your cameras on mute for a second.
Yeah, turn the cameras off. You don't have anybody to talk to. This isn't April 1st. It's April 15th.
And we're no longer in high school.
Well, some of us are.
Age is only a number.
That's the way I look at it. And you know what? It's what was that saying? When I grow up, I'm going to be a Toys R Us kid.
I don't have any choice about getting older, but I do have a choice about being grown up.
Yeah.
And what toys you buy?
Yeah, there was when I was growing up, it was saying the difference between a man and a boy is the price of their toys.
Yeah.
Here, here.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
Jerry here. I just wanted to let people know I probably will not be in the meeting tonight, at least for very long. My wife has been in the hospital for the last week, and unfortunately, the news is not good. She's pretty much definitely got lung cancer, and so got I'm just at loose ends here. I'm walking off, not doing things, even though they're standing right in front of me and so forth. So I don't think I could give sufficient attention.
Okay, well,
I think
obviously, you know, we hope for the best, and we will understand if you, if and when you drop off the list.
Yeah, well, I'll probably be back next time around, but
Okay.
this just happened this previous week, and we got hit, bang, 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 bang. So I'm trying to. It's almost like getting a new computer, and all of the things that you thought you knew got changed. And that's same for us for our domestic routine. So
yeah,
give Diana our best from everyone at T-Mug.
Here.
Yes.
I will.
Right.
I just wanted to let people know that I'm not trying to uh, uh, I can't even talk.
You're not trying to ghost us.
Right.
But,
Yes, that's
but
it.
if you leave, we will certainly understand.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'm going to log out now and have a good meeting, guys.
Okay,
Our prayers are with you, Jerry.
absolutely.
Yes, me too. I'll be thinking of you.
All the best, Jerry.
I gotta find the button to log out. There. I never use it, so.
Lower right corner. Oh, I think you found it.
Anybody have any more questions?
I have a Facebook question. Is there any way that I get about 400 to 500 people you might know every day. Is there any way you can turn that off so you're not getting any people you might know?
No, that would not be profitable to Facebook.
That I understand.
I just go when I'm on Facebook, which is probably once a day for a little while. Oftentimes, when I see that, I'll go through and click X out the people that I really don't know, and the people that I do know, I just skip over because maybe I'll want to connect with them someday. But that's
Well,
how Facebook makes its money.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what I do, and I stopped counting at 400. It used to be that it was like 100 every day, and now it's up to over 400. Last night I did over 450 names, and I just tap them, boom, 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 as fast as I can.
Yeah, the best way to do it is close your Facebook account.
That's what I did. Well,
I
or
only,
don't lie. I haven't logged in 3 years.
yeah, I look at it, but I'm a member of different groups, photography groups, birding groups, and stuff like that. So I don't get a lot of notifications, and I don't converse with people. So that's how I do it. My daughter told me about Facebook like over 20 years ago when she was in college. Oh, Mom, there's this really cool thing called Facebook, and you should sign up, which I did. And then she proceeded to close her account. She's not on it at all. So, kids.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you all.
Kurt, I see you talking, but you're muted.
I deleted my account years ago, and then T-Mug decided to open their own page, and so I had to re-sign up, and I've kept a super low profile since, and I only get a few of those.
Okay, well, it might be, if there's no other questions right now, I think it might be time to take our break.
Maybe I'll make a little comment about
Sure, Gary.
Chris kind of put me on to using a proofreader in text and in emails, and I've been using it and find it very helpful. So it's just more of a comment than, and then there's other. I did find out from another friend tonight, though, Bob, that I was talking about Google, Gmail writing. I'm doing some things in Gmail for mail, and Peter Petto told me and showed me how somehow Apple is you can use the proofreader in a Gmail if from of writing an email in Gmail. So I've found it the proofreader very helpful in correcting spelling, punctuation, stuff like that. So Okay.
Okay, we're going to take our break. We'll be back at 7 o'clock for our general meeting.